Good afternoon. Today's webinar for the BJA Coordinated Tribal Assistance Solicitation Grantee Orientation Webinar, Purpose Area 5, will be presented by BJA Grants Management Specialists, Latanza Wilson and Kathy Mason, and Trish Thaxton, BJA Senior Policy Advisor, and will provide an overview on the program implementation and grant requirements for adult tribal treatment court programs. Before getting started, we would like to go through a few housekeeping items. Please note that today's webinar will be recorded. If you're using a computer and need to adjust your audio setting, at the bottom of your screen, click on the down arrow unmute button to adjust as needed. If you're still having an issue, within this icon, you can request that WebEx call your phone directly. You can submit your questions at any time, which will be answered at the end during a Q&A session. To submit your questions, at the bottom right of your screen, click the three dots and select Q&A. Be sure to send your questions to all panelists. Closed captioning is available. The closed caption button will be visible in the bottom left corner. Thank you for joining us. Now let's turn things over to Latanza, Kathy, and Trish.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. I am Trish Thaxton, Senior Policy Advisor with BJA, and I'm going to start us off today walking through our agenda in the beginning of our presentation and then pass it on to my colleagues. I'm going to turn my camera back off while I'm presenting, but I wanted you to have a moment to see who I was, and thank you all for being here today. As you can see, here's our agenda for the day. We're going to be going through a number of different aspects of working with BJA on your awards. And then you'll have an opportunity also to hear from our training and technical assistance provider. Next slide, please. And we can go ahead to the next slide, please. So here you can see the BJA staff that you will be working with over the next 5 years. And I should say congratulations on your awards. I should have started there, everyone. As I said, I am Trish Thaxton. My colleague in the policy office is Julius Dupree, who I don't believe is here with us today, as he does not generally work on Purpose Area 5. And in the programs office, we have Dara Schulman, Gisela Barnes, Kathy Mason, Latanza Wilson, and Nikki Tarsa. And these are going to be the people who will be your primary day-to-day contact. If you look in Jeff's grants, you will see one of them is your assigned program manager. So you can always reach out to any of us if you have questions or concerns. If you don't get quite the right person, we all work very closely together and we'll be happy to pass it along to the correct person. Next slide, please. We're going to go to a quick poll here to give you the opportunity to share with us your name, the tribe you're representing, your role on the Purpose Area 5 award that you received. If you have urgent questions, you can note them, but really we're going to probably answer the majority of the questions as we go through the presentation. And then there will be an opportunity for questions and answers at the end. So don't worry about having enough time to write down all of your questions. If we can start that poll, please. All right, and it looks like that poll should now be closed. We can go to the next slide. And we can continue on to the next one. Thank you. So all of you know that your Purpose Area 5 award is with BJA. BJA is part of the Office of Justice programs within the U.S. Department of Justice. So this slide just gives you a quick overview. The Office of Justice programs provides grant funding, training, research, and statistics to the criminal justice community. You can see we have multiple different offices, the Bureau of Justice Assistance, the Bureau of Justice Statistics, the National Institute of Justice, the Office for Victims of Crime, the Office of Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention, and the SMART office, which is the Office of Sex Offender Sentencing, Monitoring, Apprehending, Registering, and Tracking. OJP is one of 3 grant-making components in the Department of Justice, along with the Office on Violence Against Women and the Office of Community-Oriented Policing Services. Next slide, please. The Bureau of Justice Assistance was created in 1984 to reduce crime, create safer communities, and reform our nation's criminal justice system. BJA strengthens the nation's criminal justice system and helps America's state, local, and tribal jurisdictions reduce and prevent crime, reduce recidivism, and promote fair and safe criminal justice systems. BJA focuses its programmatic and policy efforts on providing a wide range of resources, including training and technical assistance to law enforcement, courts, corrections, treatment, reentry, justice information sharing, and community-based partners to address chronic and emerging criminal justice challenges nationwide. Next slide, please. This is just a graphic to kind of give you the view of the types of resources we provide to the field, including investments in funding, grant awards, and so forth, sharing knowledge and engaging with the field in both opportunities like today, as well as getting out in the field and hopefully having the opportunity to meet outside of DC. Next slide, please. As I alluded to earlier, you'll be interacting with multiple people to support you as you work on your new awards. The BJA policy staff provide national leadership to criminal justice organizations that partner with BJA to identify effective program models for replication and infuse data-driven, evidence-based strategies into operational models, practices, and programs. We also provide policy guidance and training and technical assistance to communities and criminal justice partners to meet emerging and chronic criminal justice needs. When it comes to grant programs like this one, we design the grant programs and direct technical assistance to help you meet your goals. The BJA Programs Office grant managers are responsible for assisting you with accepting the award, accessing your funds, compliance with award conditions, reviewing and approving performance reports, grant award modifications, grant closeout procedures. They're your primary point of contact. And as I said, it is assigned in Just Grants. You can easily see who your program manager is if you ever forget. And their name, as well as their email address and phone number, are there in Just Grants for you anytime you need it. The Planning, Performance, and Impact team, we refer to as the PPI team, is available to assist grantees with a variety of resources and services that include providing wraparound training and technical assistance on data collection and analysis to support grantees, assisting grantees with reporting requirements to ensure accurate data reporting, reviewing and cleaning data to support data integrity, performing data analysis to identify opportunities for training and technical assistance, and developing products to share program successes. And then finally, the last sort of part of the whole team effort here is your TTA provider, who you will hear from later. The TTA providers can offer training and technical assistance both remotely via telephone calls, webinars, and so forth, as well as on-site coming out to you to work with you and your team on your home turf. Next slide, please. And we can go ahead to the next slide, please. I think all of you know what the goal of Purpose Area 5 is, since you all have Purpose Area 5 awards, but this is to support tribal efforts to implement and enhance adult treatment courts, including healing to wellness courts, veteran treatment courts, driving while intoxicated courts, and other treatment-focused courts or court dockets. Next slide, please. And here I'm going to go ahead and hand the presentation over to my colleague, Latanza.
Thanks so much, Trish. All right, let's review the Just Grants process for accessing award documents and elements to the award. Next slide, please. There are generally 9 award elements that your agency will need to utilize in the management and implementation of your award. They include accessing your award documents, accepting your award, accessing the award funds, reviewing your award conditions, reviewing and addressing any budget and financial information, addressing administrative requirements and reporting, creating and reviewing grant award modifications, also known as GAMs for short, monitoring, and the awards closeout. Next slide, please. For the first element, you'll need to access your award documents within the Just Grant system. Once you navigate to your award, you should change from the read-only role into an active editing role by clicking the Begin button found as the 5th task under the assignment section just below the top of the page. Next slide, please. From here, it will help if you look at the overall file as the digital version of a physical file. Keeping this in mind, you will see what I like to call tabs of your award file towards the top of the screen. The award package tab will allow you to see your entire official award package. You can see each section of this tab by clicking on the angle brackets, also known as the chevrons. This is also where the authorized representative will navigate to accept the award. I'll cover that in just a moment. The award package tab will contain various sections that consist of your official award letter, your information as an award recipient and award details, your project's information, a financial information section. This section is basically blank and just for the authorized representative to confirm that they have looked through the other official financial tabs in award file, the award conditions section, and the award acceptance section. The award conditions section will allow you to see each condition that you have that you will legally have to comply with once you accept the award. Authorized representatives should thoroughly review these conditions and speak with their grant managers if they require any clarification or if they have any questions or concerns. Award acceptance. For the second element of accepting your award, the authorized representative should navigate to the award acceptance section where they will need to review and select the box at the bottom of the following sections to confirm that they have read and understand the information presented in the applicable sections of federal award instrument. Award information section, project information section, the financial information section, and the award conditions section. They should then click the award acceptance angle bracket and click the declaration and clarification box. If there is a submit button at the bottom of that section, click the submit button to accept the award. You can confirm that action did take by clicking the actions button towards the top of your screen and clicking refresh. Then going back down to the award acceptance section where you should now see a date and time stamp confirming the award was signed and accepted. Next slide, please. The award conditions tab is to the right of the award package tab. This tab will also allow you to see all conditions that are applicable to your specific award. I recommend that you check under the funding balance and availability tab and scroll down to the hold section to see the number of your active conditions, and you can reference them back under either the award package or award conditions tabs. Please contact your grant manager if you need clarification or assistance on what is necessary to address and clear the conditions. Next tab, please. To access funds, the following actions must be completed. Award accepted in Just Grants, entity registration in the U.S. Treasury's Automated Standard Application for Payment or ASAP system. You can access that by going to the website as listed. Next is addressing holds on funds related to withholding award conditions, if applicable. Then addressing suspensions of ASAP account. The system for award management or SAMs, registration expired or delinquent reports, if applicable. Next slide, please. If you're a current or former OJP grant recipient with an active ASAP account, you do not need to take any additional action in ASAP unless another user must be added. If you are a new OJP grant recipient, after the award is accepted in Just Grants, your agency's entity administrator will receive 2 emails from ASAP. The email address will come in as donotReply.asap@mail.twai.gov to begin the registration process. To have the ASAP registration email resent and/or for assistance registering an ASAP, contact our OCFO customer service desk at ask.ocfo@usdoj.gov or 1-800-458-0786. ASAP resources are also available at the link provided. Next slide, please. As previously noted, grantees are responsible for adhering to all applicable award conditions. Conditions 1 through 32 apply to all OJP awards, while conditions after that are specific to this program and your award. Please note that there may be one or more withholding award conditions which prevent expenditure and drawdown of funds until the conditions are met. Next slide, please. Withholding award conditions require specific actions or documentation to be approved by OJP and can only be cleared by the submission and approval of an award condition modification, or ACM. For specific guidance on any withholding conditions, please contact your grant manager. We recommend that at that time, you check with them on the most appropriate way or area to submit your documentation. The most common withholding conditions involve your budget not being cleared or approved due to question cost. This condition allows you to access up to 10% of your grant funding. The 10% of available funds should only be used for necessary startup activities and only for costs that will be in the approved budget. Costs incurred must be allowable under the program and reasonable in amount. The second is for missing or insufficient application information. For example, a missing proposal narrative. Third is additional approvals needed based on the type of project. For instance, projects with environmental impact. Next slide, please. All costs must be allowable, reasonable, allocable, and necessary to the project. Certain specific costs may be unallowable or restricted based on the DOJ grants financial guide, any applicable executive orders, cost principles, program statutes specific to Purpose Area 5, or the Program Notification of Funding Opportunity, NOFO. For example, examples include costs that are not reasonable or necessary for the performance of the federal award. Costs specified as unallowable in the program NOFO, lobbying or fundraising, land acquisition, or entertainment. But please remember, this list of unallowable costs on this slide is not comprehensive and only shows some examples. You can discuss allowability of certain costs with your grant manager if you have questions. Next slide. The grant's financial management training is required to be completed by your designated grant award administrator and financial manager within 120 days of the grant acceptance unless previously completed in the last 3 years. If the grant award administrator and/or financial manager change, they will have 120 days to complete their training from the day that they are added within the Just Grant system. For certain recipients, Funds will be withheld until completed. There are 2 ways for you to register for the training: in person at the link provided, or online at the link provided. Both can be accessed and completed at, the online can be accessed and completed at any time. Please ensure that you submit your financial management certificates to your BJA grant manager. Next slide, please. Grant recipients may propose to make subawards and/or enter in procurement contracts with other non-federal parties under the award. Different administrative requirements apply, so it's important to properly classify. The substance of the relationship should be given greater consideration than the form of agreement. Just to be clear, I will define the purpose of a subaward versus a procurement contract. A subaward is for the purpose of carrying out a portion of a federal award and creates a federal assistance relationship with the subrecipient. Characteristics that support the classification of a subrecipient include when the non-federal entity determines who is eligible to receive what federal assistance, has its performance measured in relation to whether objectives of a federal program were met, has responsibility for programmatic decision-making, is reasonable for adherence to applicable federal program requirements specified in the federal award, in accordance with its agreement, uses the federal funds to carry out a program for a specific purpose specified in authorizing statute, as opposed to providing goods or services for the benefit of the pass-through entity. A procurement contract is for the purpose of obtaining goods and services for the non-federal entity's own use and creates a procurement relationship with the contractor. Characteristics indicative of a procurement contract relationship are when the contractor provides the goods and services within normal business operations, provides similar goods and services to many different purchasers, normally operates in a competitive environment, provides goods or services that are ancillary to the operation of the federal program, or is not subject to compliance requirements of the federal program as a result of the agreement, though similar requirements may apply for other reasons. You may find training resources related to subawards and procurement via the link provided at the bottom. Next slide, please. All subawards under a federal award require prior approval by the funding agency. The method of prior approval varies by grant program. The grant recipient serves as the pass-through entity and must have policies and procedures in place for managing and monitoring subawards consistent with federal requirements. Pass-through entity requirements include, but are not limited to, accessing risk of either subrecipient, passing on award conditions via via subaward agreement, monitoring each subrecipient's performance and compliance. Chapter 3.14 of the DOJ Grants Financial Guide covers this topic in greater detail. For most programs, if the specific subaward is listed in the application and BJA issues an award and clears the budget, this is considered approval of the subaward. However, certain programs require express approval of subawards even if they are included in the application and the program NOFO and award conditions will state this. If at all unsure, it is best to contact your BJA grant manager. Next slide, please. All procurement transactions must be conducted in a manner to provide, to the maximum extent practical, open and free competition. Prior written approval must be requested before executing a non-competitive sole source procurement over $250,000. This does not apply to states or Indian tribes. Budget clearance is not approval. Just to be clear, budget clearance is not approval. States and Indian tribes must follow the same policies and procedures they use for procurements from their non-federal funds. See Section 2 CFR Parts 200.317. All other non-federal entities, including subrecipients of a state, must follow 2 CFR Part 200.318 through Part 200.326. For more information, see Chapter 3.8 of the DOJ Financial Guide and DOJ Guide for Procurement Procedures. If your agency does not have their own policies, you must follow federal procurement policies and procedures. Next slide, please. The Federal Funding Accountability and Transparency Act, better known as FFATA, requires prime recipients of awards greater than or equal to $30,000 to report subawards and executive compensation data on first-tier subawards greater than or equal to $30,000. Recipients must submit the FFATA report in the system for awards management at sam.gov via the sam.gov link by the end of the following month in which the subaward was issued. If you go to the old submission site, it will send you to the landing page with information on the transition to the now reporting within sam.gov, with helpful hints and links to setting up your account if you're not a first-time FFATA reporting agency. User resources and online demos are also available at the link provided. Next slide, please. Reporting requirements. Next slide, please. As a reporting overview, most awards are on a semi-annual cycle for performance awards, but there are some that require quarterly reporting or annual reporting. Please check via the Performance Management tab within Just Grants, review your awards, and/or reach out to your grant manager to confirm when you need to submit performance reports. FFRs in this sample table, you will note that your designated financial manager is responsible for submitting your federal financial reports or FFRs within Just Grants. If your FFRs are to be submitted quarterly, they will reflect financial activities for 3 months and are due 30 days following the final day of the reporting period. As it pertains to performance reports, your designated grant award administrator is responsible for submitting the reports within Just Grants. If your reports are to be submitted semi-annually, they will reflect programmatic activities for 6 months. They are also due 30 days following the final day of the reporting period. Just remember that alternate grant award administrators can only edit performance reports but not submit them. The final FFR and final performance report are due 120 days from the project's end date. Next slide, please. Important reporting tips that we would like to share. Your federal financial reports. Reporting funds obligated and or expended, not drawn down amounts. Ensure funds that have been obligated align with your approved budget. Report for every quarter, regardless of whether expenses were incurred. And report cumulative amounts each quarter. For your performance reports, answer performance measure questions directly in Just Grants. Provide your BJA grant manager with an accurate summary of progress to date. Report must be submitted even if no activities occurred in your reporting period, and there's a 14-day grace period after the due date of regular reports before access to funds is suspended. ASAP accounts will be suspended automatically if a report is delinquent, and funds will not be available until it has been submitted. Late reports also influence how your award risk is assessed by OJP and may affect subsequent applications. Also, another reminder is the last 3 days of each month or last 2 weeks of the fiscal year and first 2 weeks of the new fiscal year, the ASAP system is generally unavailable for drawdowns due to monthly financial management. Next slide, please. A grant award modification, or GAM, is used to request changes that require prior approval and must be submitted within Just Grants. There are two primary categories of GAMs: programmatic and financial. The programmatic GAMs have two subcategories: programmatic costs, which generally cover costs requiring prior approval, and scope change, which alter programmatic activities, add subawards, change a project site, or change key staff. The second type being financial GAMs, which have three subcategories: budget clearance GAM, or budget modification GAM, moving more than 10% of funds or adding money in categories previously zeroed out. And then the final sub being sole source GAMs for any sole source procurement in excess of the simplified acquisition threshold. It is recommended to contact your grant manager if you have questions prior to submitting a GAM. You may also reference the link provided as a reference source. Note, there will be a training in the summer specific to requesting extensions. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Award monitoring includes three types: substantive communication and general oversight, relative to proactive grants management activities and ongoing communications that BJA grant managers have with grantees, annual programmatic desk reviews, a review of materials available in the grant file for the grant manager to make a qualitative assessment of the current state of the recipient's administrative, financial, and programmatic compliance and performance, and in-depth, where we fall here. OJP conducts formal in-depth monitoring on at least 10% of our active grants each fiscal year. Recipients are required to participate. Monitoring is conducted remotely or on-site. It involves a full review of your grant award documents and interviews of key project staff. Letter issued with results to include issues for resolution and technical assistance to address them. To summarize, in-depth monitoring includes site visits, remote in-depth monitoring, and it involves pre- and post-site visit or remote monitoring activities. If you ever have a joint in-depth monitoring, grant managers will conduct a programmatic in-depth monitoring, which includes a financial review, and our OCFO conducts separate financial monitoring efforts. The overall focus is on the administrative, financial, and programmatic management of the awards. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. The Managing Your Award training covers critical aspects of award management from start to finish, including award acceptance, meeting award conditions, reporting requirements, making changes to your award, and how to access additional resources and support, much of which has been covered in this presentation. BJA will also host Introduction to BJA Performance Measures and reporting sessions. The virtual training will discuss the purpose and benefits of performance management. BJA's requirements for collecting and sharing performance data, reporting timeliness and systems, and where to find helpful resources to assist with reporting. Several of these trainings are offered multiple times during the year, and grantees need only attend one session per topic. Training materials and recordings will be posted on the BJA website. Your TTA provider also offers an array of trainings, conferences, and webinars. Next slide, please. And you can also reference the link provided for additional recipient resources. Next slide, please. Stay connected with us by going to Facebook, X, YouTube, our website, or using our QR code. At this time, I will go ahead and turn it back over to Trish.
Thank you, Latanza.
Thank you.
We have the next slide, please. This is just a quick list of a few other resources for Department of Justice tribal information, as well as CTAS resources. I'm not going to read through the whole list, but you can see you've got your links here for a number of different tribal specific places to get additional information. We can go to the next slide, please. And at this point, I'm going to introduce our training and technical assistance provider. We have Angie Juarez-Monger from the Tribal Law and Policy Institute with us here today. TLPI, for short, is responsible for providing training and technical assistance to you as you go forward with these projects. And it's really important to note that this is DOJ sponsored training, so there is zero cost to you to access this support. It's just an opportunity to get some really knowledgeable and experienced people to both help you with your work and to help connect you with other tribes who may have had similar experiences and can walk through some challenges you may be running into, or just brainstorm and share ideas with each other. Angie?
Thank you, Trish. Good afternoon, everyone. If we can go to the next slide. And maybe one more. Thank you. We'll start here. Well, hi, everybody. Congratulations on your new CTAS Purpose Area 5 award. How exciting it is to be a part of the cohort in this new purpose area. My name is Angie Juarez-Monger, and I'm a Tribal Wellness Court Specialist at the Tribal Law and Policy Institute. Today, I join you from New Mexico, and I am originally from El Paso, Texas. My family is from Chihuahua and the indigenous tribes of Mexico. Today, I'm going to share the training and technical assistance services that the Tribal Law and Policy Institute provides to Purpose Area 5 grantees. Next slide. Before I dive into that, I'd like to introduce our leadership team. Our executive director is Jerry Gardner, and our deputy director is Heather Valdez-Friedman. We also have Jessica Harjo, Maria Alito, and Catherine Retana as part of our team. Next slide, please. TLPI has several teams that provide various training and technical assistance support across different tribal projects. But for CTAS Purpose Area 5 Adult Tribal Treatment Court Awards, our Healing to Wellness Court team will be supporting your projects. We have Jacob Metaxen, he is our legal specialist. Christina Pacheco is our training and technical assistance lead. I am our lead on program management. And Janice Thompson is our program coordinator. Our Healing to Wellness Court team consists of members of federally recognized tribes with expertise in tribal court management, federal grant management, legal practice in Indian country, development, implementation and enhancement of Healing to Wellness Courts, substance misuse counseling, family services, and mental health services. Next slide, please. Here's an overview of our Tribal Healing to Wellness Court Training and Technical Assistance, or TTA for short. TTA involves providing customized training and technical assistance to BJA grantees, of which CTAS Purpose Area 5 is a part of, and then later we'll have Adult Treatment Court grantees as well. But we assist with the implementation and enhancement of your wellness courts, and it could be through different measures. First, we could do individualized on and off-site technical assistance. In fact, we've already reached out to some of our new grantees that are with us today and have some on-site scheduled. Some of the most frequent requests that we get include specific or special topic training to meet the needs of your team or of your court. We get asked to review documents such as policies and procedures or participant handbooks. And then we also have a sharing of resources. We can share form templates or examples from other tribes. We also have a Healing to Wellness Court Fundamentals training, and this is a new resource that we have developed. It's the first tribal-specific foundational training for new Healing to Wellness courts, or maybe established courts that may have several new team members. We also offer training through webinars, our annual enhancement training, and treatment court conferences where we can reach our tribal grantees. We also facilitate peer-to-peer learning opportunities through the Mentor Court program. And this program involves pairing your court with a currently active mentor court. We also have our website, which serves as a center for project resources, relevant funding opportunities, and law and policy updates for Healing to Wellness courts. I hope that this gives you some ideas of how we can support you and your new Healing to Wellness court projects. Next slide, please. This is an overview of the training and technical assistance process. Each project will have a coach assigned, and we'll start with a virtual meeting to discuss your project plan and the status of your project. Then together we'll create a training and technical assistance plan that'll support and advance your project. And that'll be followed by providing the actual training, whether you decide that it's on-site, off-site, or virtually. That would be most helpful. And then finally, we'll close out with the training and technical assistance report that is written by the Tribal Law and Policy Institute on our team, our Healing to Wellness Court team, and an evaluation from you to ensure that the assistance was helpful. And then we can continue to support you as necessary. Next slide, please. This is what you'll see when you'll visit our website. It's a wellnesscourts.org site, and you'll find a services tab along the top. If you hover over it, this drop-down menu will show, and you can select Request TA, Request Technical Assistance here. This page will open up to a new link with the request form, and you'll also see links for joining our mailing list. And those mailing lists are very helpful. We provide updates or training opportunities, funding opportunities delivered right to your inbox. Next slide, please. Okay, so we just covered some of the training and technical assistance that can be provided, but TLPI also has a wellness court series of publications that could be helpful to your program. They're available for free download at the site shown, or you can request a digital copy from us, or we can share a QR code that you can scan and it'll take you right to the publication. The Wellness Court series publication series includes Formalizing Healing to Wellness Courts in Tribal Law, Intergovernmental Collaboration, Case Management, and a Judicial Bench Book. These are the most commonly requested. Next slide, please. These four are our newest publications, and they include Promising Strategies for Tribal Healing to Wellness Courts, which highlights peer-to-peer learning through our mentor courts. Tribal Judicial Leadership in Tribal Healing to Wellness Courts, which presents judicial leadership through traditional storytelling. And Models for Integrating Veteran Services in Healing to Wellness Courts. This is an infographic that presents different models for incorporating veteran services. And lastly is a frequently asked questions page on the violent offender prohibition in Healing to Wellness Courts. Next slide, please. You can also find additional information about the Tribal Law and Policy Institute at these sites shown. On the TLPI home site, you'll find overviews of all of TLPI's current projects and resources. And the Tribal Court Clearinghouse site includes a comprehensive law and policy resource for tribal justice systems, victim services providers, and improving justice in Indian country. Next slide, please. This is our contact information. We have already been in contact with some of the grantees that are here with us today, but if you haven't heard from us yet, a TTA coach will be reaching out to you. We'll send a letter to the points of contacts that were included in your application, and then we will start to plan some virtual meetings to get to know you and your team and your project and how we can start supporting you with training and technical assistance. We're so excited to be supporting your projects, and TLPI is looking forward to working with you. Next slide. And thank you. Again, congratulations on your new award, and we look forward to supporting you. I will turn it back over to Trish, I believe.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Angie. And we can go to the next slide. So as hopefully all of you have seen, you've got a number of people here that you will be working with, but we all work closely as a team. And our goal as a team is to help ensure that you have everything you need to be successful in implementing these new programs that you just received funding for. So at this point, we would like to open it up for Q&A. And I'm going to invite my colleagues to turn their camera on so that everyone can see who they're speaking to at this point. You're welcome to drop those questions in the Q&A. I do not see anything in there right now. But if you could put any questions you have in there, that would be great. Apparently we said so much, there's no questions.
And please feel free to note that if you have any questions that are very specific to your particular award, feel free to reach out, as you know, I noted multiple times, to your grant manager or to Trish, the policy advisor, for very specific needs.
And I will also mention regarding training and technical assistance, that if you have not already, you should anticipate hearing from Angie and the team at TLPI shortly, introducing themselves and setting up those introductory meetings and needs assessment to understand exactly how they can support you. There's a question in the chat. Oh, if you can't unmute yourself, it's okay to just type your question in the chat. I don't know if we have the ability to open the lines because we do have a lot of people on the line. Okay, yes, so attendees are not able to unmute because of the volume of people on the line. So anything that you would like answered, you can type into the chat, please. It's not looking like we have any questions. I don't know at what point we want to go ahead and let everybody go for the day and just invite folks to email us if there's anything else that they wanted to ask and didn't get a chance to ask on the webinar. We give it another minute and then go ahead and close out. So we have a question in the chat regarding when grantees should anticipate hearing from their TLPI coach. Angie, do you want to field that one?
Yes, probably early next week. We currently have our TTA specialists at a treatment court conference in Wisconsin. So they're traveling this week, but we'll be back. And you should hear from them early next week.
Thank you. And then can one of my colleagues who may know more than I do share when the recording for this webinar will be available?
Yes, I believe it takes just a couple of days for it to be, you know, cleaned up and then placed on our website.
And we can probably send an email out to everyone who's on the call to let them know when it's available. Well, I think if there are no other questions, and just if you have questions, you haven't had time to type it, just throw a quick wait or a thumbs up or something on the screen so that we know to wait for you. But if I don't see that, then we will close out for today. Thank you so much for your time. Congratulations on your new awards, and we look forward to working with you.